Welcome back to Biggs versus Biggs, another episode here with us, and we have two very special guests, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury.
You here. See it, we promised you, and they're here.
We got them here. You can't say we didn't. Now, all jokes aside, Tony Nassau, incredible sponsor, a very well-known man inside the boxing world. He does so much for fighters, looking out for them. Even when they don't get to the main stages, he's there making sure we're hydrated.
And I know a lot of you, Tony Nassau is a very humble man, right? It was very hard to get him. It's like, Jess, I don't want to be known for having the most popping water in boxing. I don't want to be known for my paintings. I'm like, Tony, just come on the show, man. People want to talk to you. People want to know what you got going on. You know, we see the art, but we want to know the man behind the art. And I want to say this right here. I wore a very fly coat the last episode, but I think Tony got me. I think his jacket has actually surpassed my jacket. He is the flyest guest we've had on the show thus far. It's going to be hard for you guys to top it, so don't even try, man.
Please give him a round of applause. You're getting a McFlurry back
Tony,
there.
what's up, man? How you feeling today? Talk to us.
Good. All is well. I want to thank you. Thank both of you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it. This is my first time ever doing any kind of interview. So
you're a natural, man. The camera loves you. Just remember, Tony, make love to the camera. That's all I do. I just come on here. I just
figuratively, of course.
Yeah, figuratively.
So
allegedly.
Since we have this masterpiece in front of us, please tell us a little bit about it, how it came about. You know, how did you get the autograph on it? Like, just give us the rundown.
So, I've been doing most of Deontay Wilder's fights. I paint all his fights. Wow. This one was specifically, I think, in Vegas. It was the WBC had they had like a convention next to where they were having the press conference for the fight.
Nice.
Right.
So I was able to display it in that room where they had all the different WBC belts.
Right.
And we had sponsored the event with the water as well. So I decided to make the painting. It's smaller than my usual paintings because I had to carry it on the plane. So I couldn't really make it as big. But when I took it out with me to Vegas the night before, Deontay signed it for me.
Signed it, nice.
Cool,
and it was the night before the fight.
Yeah.
Wow, man. And you know, that's funny because usually, I mean, Deontay doesn't have to make weight, but usually fighters are very grumpy.
Right.
So the fact that he appreciated it, I mean, one, it means your art is really good because I'm not going to lie. When you're about to fight, if something is not up to par, we're just, like, fighters are very, like, honest. Like, oh, come on, man. Like, but he must have really loved this artwork and appreciated to even, and to sign it the day before the fight, man.
He took he took time out. He signed it, took a photo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So who's the what's some of the highlights? Oh, well, let me ask you this first. Did you ever get I see one signature on here. Did you ever reach out to Tyson?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Dang. Okay. Tyson, we need this. We need the second half of this painting. You know, we need to get this going. But that's totally dope, man. That's really, really cool. How'd you get into the whole painting and why boxers? Why fighters?
Why fighters? You could have been painting anything.
Yeah.
So I started drawing models. And just to get like that fan base on Instagram. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn drawing. Nobody's gonna know who I am.
Who doesn't love models, right?
Yeah.
So I started painting women in wrestling, a couple of actresses. And I started getting a lot of following, and then I was like, you know what? Let me focus on something I like.
Right.
And I always had a passion for fighting. You know,
did you grow up with boxing in your family?
Well, I was my whole family was in martial arts.
Oh,
I was a kickboxer. I fought amateur.
Yeah.
Then I tried to do the Golden Gloves. I got hurt.
Oh wow.
So I've always followed boxing. My father's a huge boxing fan. You know, he would always have me in front of the TV watching all the fights, Tuesday night fights with, Bernard Hopkins, the Executioner, Johnny Tapia back in the day.
You say if you're watching boxing on a weekday, you really love boxing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You really love it.
So, and he's like a boxing encyclopedia.
Oh,
he knows.
Oh man,
you should have him here too, right? Hey man, come, let's talk about some boxing.
I wonder if he still follows it because he must have been around the golden age of boxing when you saw all the fights you wanted to see, and it was maybe a little less dirty.
And he still follows it.
What do you think about today's boxing? How does your father feel about
it's not like what it used to be. Not even close. But he's still a fan of the sport. He still watches it. He watches all the guys I paint.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Oh, that's your friend." I'm like, "He's not my friend."
Who's a fighter that you met that your dad was real like excited about? He was just like, "What?"
Or you.
Yeah.
Well, one fighter I always wanted to meet, I never had the pleasure of, but my dad met him. Was Johnny Tapia. He's one of my all-time favorites. My dad met him like 3 months before he passed. So I have a photo of him and my dad, which is pretty cool. Yeah. But one of the nicest guys was Sean Porter.
Cool.
Sean Porter does seem like a really nice guy.
I hear that. Yeah, notoriously he's very nice. My sister met him too.
Yeah, he's an absolute sweetheart, man. When I went to, I think it was a fight. I don't know which fight it was. I took my dad, and I reached out to Sean. I'm like, "Bro, could we get a family photo? The two dads with." He's like, "Absolutely." So I got a photo with my dad, his dad, and the both of us.
Sean's dad is really cool too, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to meet Sean's dad.
Two great guys.
I got 2 questions for you, okay? If off the top of your head, it may be kind of hard for you to pick, but what's the most brutal knockout or brutal loss you've seen with all your years following boxing?
So the one knockout that always stays in my head was Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison.
Oh, yeah, that was vicious, right?
Oh boy,
that was insane.
Oh, so vicious.
So my dad was at that fight. He was sitting ringside. He went to the fight. I was a Tommy Morrison fan at the time.
Yep.
And it's funny because like 15 years later, I wound up meeting Ray Mercer. Which was pretty cool.
You asked him about the knockout? Or you're like,
no.
I heard you heard about the knockout. Tell me if I'm wrong, because ask your dad when you see him. I heard it was because Ray Mercer was going into the ring, and then someone told him that the money wasn't right. He wasn't getting the money he thought he was supposed to get, and he was really pissed off.
Wow, that'll do it, man.
Written in, like really tried to
Wow.
Did that to that's what I heard was about some money stuff, like just like in the dressing room, like they were like, "Yeah, Ray, you're not getting the money you thought you were getting."
No.
I would be like, "Well, then I'm not going out."
Yeah.
He said, "Okay, we're gonna make this insurance go up. That's what we're gonna do for this."
And then my follow-up question is, I don't know if do you have any kids?
Yeah.
Would you want your kids to fight?
No.
Great father.
I'd like to teach them how to fight.
Yeah, just
self-defense, but not
as a fighter. Right?
Not to compete in any way. I understand.
In these years, I'm kind of like, yeah, kid, you don't really want to like. It's very similar to. It's positive, but it's very similar to like. Now I'm like, I don't want my kids to be in a gang, and I don't want them to box. Especially.
That's true.
It's so hard to make it, and once you lose, man, it's like you're a bum, and you got to go through that ridicule.
Right.
Like I see like rappers and singers get a lot of ridicule, and they're like, "Oh my god, everybody's against me," and they like actors, right? They get hooked on drugs, but it's like fighters. You know how hard it is being a fighter.
It really is. I get so much pressure because one day you're on top, then you lose, and everyone forgets you. Yeah, it's not like back in the day when you had like Duran, Hearns. Yeah. Those guys would fight every 2 months, 3 months. If they lost, it was no big deal. Yeah. They would just get back and fight again. And nowadays, they got that Mayweather mentality. If you lose, you're no good. Yeah, which is kind of bad for the sport.
I think a lot of fighters aren't performing well, man. Honestly, I think this will fix a lot of problems in boxing because they're not hydrated properly.
Absolutely.
If fighters just drunk RX water, they'd fight better and they perform better.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, it worked for my sister. She's never had a problem with hydration,
and it worked for us. And I see I see some fighters that are with RX. They're not with RX. I saw them posting a lot with RX, and then as soon as they stop posting RX, I see a lot of guys get knocked out. No, seriously, like they'll be RX, they'll be down, and they like go to other waters and they get knocked out.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to see a correlation. Or they lose, and they don't look the same. What do you think about that?
I think hydration is the most important thing. Absolutely. It could cause a fighter to die in the ring if you're not hydrated, right?
I've heard something about that. Is there a science behind it, or is it just
No, well, you guys are fighters, so you know. I mean, right before you're gonna fight, you got to make weight. If it's not at your natural weight
This is on
class,
tight too. This
yeah,
is
you might
water,
get
man.
carpal tunnel from trying to.
I gotta get right. Oh man, look, the water.
I should have had you guys sign a waiver before I gave you the water.
I know.
I heard from a buddy that he heard from a neurologist that the less liquid you have in your brain, the easier it is for you to be concussed, hurt, knocked out, knocked down, all those sort of things, or have long-lasting brain injuries from the trauma you suffer from fights. I've never actually gotten proof of it, but it does sound very realistic because what's in your brain, like what's the cushion between your brain and your skull? Right. Just liquid. That's all that's there. So less of it makes more sense to have a longer impact on you. So
we tried to we've done some work with WBC, like hydration protocols.
Nice.
How to, and I've noticed one thing: when the fighters are drinking RX, they're at weight. They don't have to dehydrate to make weight.
Gotcha.
There's a couple of guys that like 2 weeks in advance they're already at weight just from drinking the water, maintaining it the right way. So you're not going into the ring with fatigue.
Nice.
It really does make a difference.
What is it about RX that gets us so hydrated?
The alkaline, it's a 9.5 pH.
Ooh.
So it hydrates you at a higher, like a cellular level.
Wow.
Cellular. Man, that is incredible. Now, how did you get into the water game, man?
So my best friend created the company. He was a co-founder of the company. And I bumped into him at a funeral. I didn't see him for a long time. We just split ways. He had kids, I had kids. We stopped communicating. And a mutual friend of ours had passed away, and he happened to be at the funeral in the wake, and we were talking, and I'm like, "What are you doing nowadays?" And he's like, "I see you with the artwork." He's like, "You got all these boxers that you're friends with, and maybe you could help out with the water." And I was like, "What water?" So he shows me his card. He's like, "I'm this co-founder of this," and I'm looking at the bottle. I'm like, "I know this. I know this water." And one of my good friends from Philadelphia, Little Future, Jameer. When he was little, he was like one of the kid wonders of boxing.
From Philly?
Yeah, from Philly.
Jameer Cope?
Jameer Robertson.
Okay, you fought Jameer Cope.
So he was drinking the water, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I know Jameer. I'm good friends with his dad, Mark." And he's like, "Really?" He's like, "You know them?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Absolutely." So he's like, "Let's set up a meeting." And then like a week later, he took me under his shoulder, made me a partner in the company, and ever since then,
That's awesome,
it's been doing
Here
really
we
well.
know. I knew you really made it, man. When I was in a West Indian spot, Jamaican spot, and I was getting some oxtail, and I saw RX water, and I said, "That's my boy." He made it.
That's the best feeling when you see it in the
It's
store.
not easy to get your product across to a
tough.
Jamaican, especially.
Like they don't buy.
We know.
We don't buy.
We're Jamaican.
We're very
it's not
hard.
easy. It's
Like
not
you
easy.
you had. I was like, wow.
You had to get through the disrespect first. You did, man.
And the water's actually good. This water doesn't taste like other water, man. Like this is just seriously. Like,
I've been really getting my water palate up recently.
Yeah.
Because I've tried distilled water, Poland Spring, Essentia. Now I know all the specific water tastes,
Right.
and this water tastes great.
if you put this in a cup amongst other waters, I would know this is RX water.
Yeah,
You'll notice the difference.
It's to that point.
Once you've tasted it,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's to that point now.
And it's got no sodium, no fluoride.
Yep.
It's good for you.
This is genius, man. How long you guys been at it with the water?
I think about 5.5 years.
5.5 years. Okay. You've worked with some pretty high level fighters, man.
Yeah.
Can you name some of the fighters you worked with?
Wow, I think at one point we had almost 40 something fighters.
Jeez.
Some former world champions, some that became champions. We used to sponsor Luis Collazo, former WBA.
One of my favorite fighters, yeah, Louis.
One of the greatest guys. I love him.
Yeah.
Marcus Brown.
Marcus, yeah. Legend, Marcus.
Sir
Who else did we
Marcus.
sponsor? Wow, so many.
I seen Tio with some stuff. Lopez?
When I first met him, yeah, he
Lopez?
was drinking it, yeah.
I seen him with that. Trying to think of some other guys. You got
a lot of guys from Cops and Kids.
A lot of
Flatbush, yeah. Rashad Monty, Nikita,
Nikita Bibi,
Baby Miller,
Absolutely.
Giovanni.
Baby Miller, okay.
He's fighting this weekend.
He is. Gonna get to that. So, who else?
Giovanni Scuderi, he's over there now. We sponsored him.
Giovanni. Yo, he came along really well.
Yeah, Italian guy.
Yeah.
Richardson Higgins.
Right.
We used to sponsor.
WBC, man, Rich,
B-Hop, Chris Colbert, we sponsored him. Your sister, obviously.
Yeah, she's a pretty
Stormborn.
Stormborn. You guys got some.
I sponsored Shadeja Green from Patterson. She just fought this weekend.
Yeah, man.
We sponsored her. Ian Green, he's another good fighter.
Ian,
he's coming up.
Ian's good.
Good dude.
Really
he's gonna be. He's getting up there. So many.
So many freaking fighters, man. So Big Baby, will you be watching this fight, the Big Baby Miller fight versus?
I'll probably watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good one. What do you think, man?
This whole fight card snuck up on me.
It did, right?
Yeah. The other day, my dad's like, "Oh, Wilder's fighting." I'm like, "What?" Like, he's like, "Yeah," and the other guy from Brooklyn, and I'm like, "What?" And then I saw the card. It's like, well, it's just heavyweights, right?
It's just pretty much on the main card.
Main card, yeah.
They got. I will say this, man. They got. Bivol's in that card. The one that beat Canelo.
Oh yes, I've seen him. Yes.
Yeah, he's like a.
Who's he fighting?
I don't know, man. It's kind of like that Canelo win. It didn't do for him.
Yeah, what it was gonna do, right?
Yeah, it's kind of sad, right? Like, you beat Canelo Alvarez. I mean, I knew Canelo was going up in weight, but it's like I would expect after I defeat Canelo Alvarez, I'm just like
Get a Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yeah,
you know what it is when Canelo has to go up a few weight classes.
Yeah.
It's like if you lose, he lost because he went up so many weight classes.
Yeah.
But he won. Look at what he did.
Yeah.
He dared to be great, and he went up 2 weight classes and beat a guy.
Right.
In my life,
you know what's double standard with that? I feel like with Canelo, I did feel like he moved up 2 weights, but when Charlo did it versus Canelo, I was like, nah, Charlo, you're supposed to do better. I don't know why in me. That's just the double standard. I don't feel the same.
I feel just taller than him, but if I beat Canelo Alvarez, I just feel
because he was taller than Canelo.
He was taller than him.
He was
like Floyd beat him, man.
Wait, we're talking about Bivol? He was like twice the size of Canelo.
No, I'm talking about Charlo because he's taller.
Charlo's a big guy too.
Yeah, he's a big guy too.
If I beat Canelo Alvarez, I'm just thinking like, okay, I'm at the Rock Nation brunch. I'm hanging out. My friends are like Taylor Swift. I don't even know why Taylor Swift. I'm on tour with her for some reason. I don't know why I'm on tour with Taylor Swift. Like, my life is different. I'm on the cover of Vogue, GQ. I just think that I bought Viacom. I don't know, just crazy stuff. I'm thinking if I beat Canelo Alvarez, and for him, it's like it didn't really do anything.
No.
For Bivol is fighting Lyndon Arthur, by the way, who fought Anthony Yard twice.
Lyndon, yes, he's gonna beat the brakes.
Yeah, that's a great fight for Bivol.
That's a good money grab.
That's why we couldn't really think about.
And Saudi, they're giving good fights over there too. They're like
excellent
like
fights.
some easy. The only people that's really in a hard fight are a Big Baby and Du Bois.
The best thing that they did.
That's a little hard fight.
That's a tough fight.
It's a hard fight.
The best thing that they did on that card was get Jarrell Miller, Big Baby Miller, to sign that contract. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know the fight was really happening.
He hasn't fought in a long time, right?
He hasn't fought in a long time, but the way he's talking, he's making me want to watch either him get beat up or him beat somebody up. Right.
That's what happened with Mayweather. People either used to watch him lose or win.
Yeah, and it's kind of, you can kind of tell when a guy is forcing it, but I just feel like this is who he is. Like, essentially to his core, he's saying everything he thinks. That's what he's doing. And he's razzing guys he's not even fighting. He's over here pulling up on Anthony Joshua, saying all kinds of stuff. He hasn't really said anything to Wilder though. I think he knows better about that.
No, but I will say
I'm wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Like the Saudi thing. Look, you can't play around in Saudi. Everybody knows you got to be professional there. But I remember Big Baby makes this rap going really like, really far with Wilder, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Wilder's gonna. I'm like, oh, they're fighting on the same card. I'm like, oh, he's gonna they're gonna fight physically there,
Yeah.
And I'm looking online, just waiting for the fight to happen. And Wilder just carries himself in such a
more reserved,
manner, you know. And then I'm like, wow, I know that took a lot of patience,
Right.
and to not like go
react to. Yeah, absolutely.
In short, he said some things about his woman.
Oh, did he? I didn't see it. But
About his past with Deontay, and I was like, oof, that's definitely fighting words.
Deontay's a scary guy.
He's not one to play with, obviously, but he still is, and that's why I love him for the fights, because he's pushing the edges. Nobody wants to see a bunch of fellas sit down and talk cordially about them fighting each other. I don't care about that.
That doesn't sell fights.
This is not basketball or anything else. This is fighting. Let's get it going. He's doing it. He's bringing it.
There's too many fights like that. The guys got to just really get deep, go in, because those pay-per-views, man, like you got to sell those fights. You know, nobody wants to see.
Right.
We missed it, and maybe that's what's missing. Boxing used to go really. The last time I really seen two guys go at it was I like Charlo and my man Tony Harrison.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm. Great build up.
And Paulie and Broner.
Yeah.
I had a good time watching Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis build up though. They did a pretty good job.
That was a good build up.
They did a pretty good job. You watched the fight, right?
That's because Regis kept barking at him a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't just let him get away with all the stuff you're saying.
Right.
What did you think about the fight actually itself?
I've never seen Regis fight before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what it is? If I'm not a fan of yours, I don't know anything about you, and I don't really follow you. So I didn't know much about the guy.
Yeah.
Devin Haney, I follow. You know, we did some stuff with him at the cancer hospital in Vegas. He came with the WBC with the belt, so I'm familiar with him. I was thrown off when I was watching Regis throw his jab. I'm like, this guy can't jab. I'm like, what's going on here? He's got the belt.
Yeah.
So I was like, and then like after he knocked him down in the third round, that was the third, right? When he knocked him down, he got back up.
Yeah.
Then like the fourth, fifth, and then I fell asleep.
You fell asleep? Yeah.
I love the honesty. Thank you for that. It's not your fault you fell asleep.
Regis is a really good. We have Regis on the show. Really great fighter. I just think styles make fights.
Right.
Devin had a really, really good style. And this new style that's out right now, it's like martial arts that, step backs, the movements, the couple guys got that style. It's very hard to deal with if you don't have that speed.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Regis also needed to move up in weight. I feel like how Teofimo did Josh Taylor.
Right.
Is kind of like what happened with Devin Haney and Prograis. I feel Prograis should have went up to 147. At a certain age, you just can't keep making that weight and being yourself. Because Regis is probably walking around $160, $70 naturally.
Oh wow!
Just as a human being, a grown man, and to come down to 140 is just.
But I also
hard.
think Devin Haney probably outweighed him by at least 10 to 15 pounds the day of the fight.
He did.
He looked a lot bigger too.
The fact that you bring that up is incredible. You got a good eye, because there were reports saying he was up to like 165.
Okay.
The day of, so like 25 pounds above the limit, and now they're kind of like they're coming down.
25 is a little much, but yeah, I mean,
they're coming down on fighters. I think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. got him with 30 pounds.
Yeah.
But when he fought Sergio Martinez, he was like 30 pounds above.
Is that what he was?
Too. It was also 25?
It was it was 25 pounds too, man.
He
just punched him one time.
So the thing with it is, scientifically, it's like nearly impossible to gain that much weight in one day, which is really like 3 meals maybe you get.
Yeah.
You weigh in, you have to eat twice, then you eat once, maybe 4 meals if you're lucky. Gaining 25 pounds is something that's incredible.
I don't think Roy Jones is getting a lot of weight too. He said that was one of his he's to get. But to be able to be mobile and you still be yourself with that weight in one day, because you're usually very sluggish.
Right.
So it's going to be a hard Devin Haney to beat if he keeps gaining that 25 pounds, man. That's not going to be easy.
Well, if he fights Tank, they ain't going to be if you gain another 25 pounds.
Tank,
maybe 10 pounds.
Takes like
you know what it is with Haney? No matter how much weight he gains, I don't think he's got the chin. When Linares hit him with that shot,
yeah.
I was like,
I've seen him buzzed. He says he's never been clipped, as he should, but I've seen him buzzed maybe 2-3 times. Regis never got there. To me, Regis didn't look like, I'm not gonna say not like himself, but he didn't look like very alert, very aware, like he had those sharp reflexes, fast twitch. It seemed like a lot of things were missing. I'm not saying that Devin didn't do his absolute best, because he did great. But to me, I just Regis wasn't drinking RX.
He would have hydrated an extra 10 pounds if he was.
We love you. You know we love you, man. I just feel like he he has so much more to show on that stage. Like I've watched his career since Showbox.
Yeah, see, I don't know his career, so I can't judge really.
That's
but
fair.
Killer.
Yeah.
Regis is a killer. But I say, man, when them guys come up in weight and they're this fast and them young legs and they're not engaging with you, like you saw Marcus fought Timothy Bradley.
Marcus fought Timothy Bradley. Who?
Marquez.
Marquez.
Marquez fought Timothy Bradley and looked bad.
I remember that. Yeah.
But then Marquez knocked Pacquiao out.
Right. Because, like you said, styles make
fights. And when somebody not engaged, like that, moving around, constant moving, throwing the minimal amount of punches, not really letting combinations go, and you got the speed advantage. Yeah. And also, you're on your network as far as like you're the one that's a ticket seller. Yeah. You never have to engage.
Right.
And I look at even when I watched Floyd, it was like Floyd's throwing a couple shots as Money Mayweather, you know, like he's pow, right hand there, jab there.
Right.
You throw 5 shots, he's on the ropes, he just ducks down and comes back with a little jab. People are like, oh my God, you see what Floyd's doing to this guy? And I remember being young, I'm like, yo, man, I'm in the amateurs, so I can't do that stuff. We got to get out. We got to do combinations, punches and bunches, baby. Right. And I'm hearing my dad, don't wait on him, don't wait on him. I'm like, yo, Floyd is waiting.
He waited good on Ricky Hatton when he caught him with that check hook. He did.
And his daddy just is loving everything. Floyd's dad, you know, don't worry, Floyd, we're going to give him the 7th round. We're going to start getting his ass. And then Floyd starts beating you up, right? But now it's like, but I'm realizing Floyd was at the place where he could do that, and he was going to outlast you, and that style was dope. But I think the young guy, you know, the guys coming up doing it,
they shouldn't be doing yeah. I think it gives it gives the fighters wrong impressions, especially the younger guys, man.
It does give them the wrong impression, Tony. And I'm surprised as a fighter myself that they're not bored, because you could be in there as a fighter and you start to and I'm thinking sometimes that's what's going through their opponent's minds when you have a fighter and that's moving and he's doing his Floyd impression, and you're the guy trying to catch him. They must get bored. They must just flat out just like get bored, lose concentration, try to rush in there and get hit with stupid shots.
Yeah.
But me, if I was a fighter that's moving and dancing, I just would get bored of doing it. Just straight up. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to hit this guy hard. I want to get him out of there. I want to hit him with body shots.
Absolutely.
I want him to throw punches at me.
Discipline. Masterclass.
That's what I want.
That's what happened with Rigondeaux and Loma. Because Rigondeaux was so small.
Right.
Even when Marquez fought Floyd, he couldn't even touch him.
Couldn't even touch. Too big.
Too big. Right. And that's what I think happened with Regis and Haney. He couldn't get him. Plus, besides, I don't think his jab was. But I don't think he could catch up to him.
Nah.
He wasn't able to get in there and.
It was perfect. Long arms.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Couldn't get to him. Right. What did you think about the Ryan Garcia fight? Did you watch that one?
I did not.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch that.
I like your honesty, man. I respect that. Because sometimes it's so hard to come on here lying. Yeah, man. Great fight. Look, just watch some highlights. Ryan, it was entertaining.
To say the least.
He punches were thrown. Did Ryan have a headache at the end of the night? Probably.
He won by knockout? He stopped the guy?
Yeah, that left hook.
6th round, I think. Yeah, something like that.
He hit him with a right hand, left hook, and had his brain moving around real good and knocked him out. It was really dope. Now him and Devin are talking about doing their fight. And just going back on that style, man, I feel like that's what makes Tank so great. Tank cannot throw any punches, really. They hit you with one.
It's over.
It separates you from your consciousness.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my God. Like, Mike Tyson is here again, and it makes me miss, it does make me miss Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. I miss Pacquiao. I don't know how he did it, but Pacquiao would throw a gazillion punches, man.
Oh. And a lot of times that's why he hurt people, because they would think the combination's over.
Right.
He's just getting started. He's just getting started. They try to return fire.
Yeah.
Right. They get caught in between because they're trying to return fire, counter him, and he's just getting that was 2 of 5.
Right.
So that's what he would do a lot. Who's your favorite fighter all time?
Johnny Tapia.
Johnny Tapia. Was it his personality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just his story and the fact that my dad would wake me up to watch the fights. It's like Johnny Tapia's fighting.
I know what you mean.
So that was the.
What's your favorite one of his fights?
When I think it was in when he came back in '94.
Would he get into an accident or something?
No, I think he was in prison. He might have been. Something.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of demons. But I think it was in 1994. He fought Martinez. He won the belt. I think it was a WBO.
Yeah.
So and he fought in Albuquerque, if I'm not mistaken, in his hometown. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the triumph of him, it was like, it was.
His fights were exciting. I loved watching him. But Pacquiao's one of my favorites. I mean, a lot of people don't like Floyd, but he's my favorite fighter, man.
Yeah, Floyd's man.
I never understood the Floyd hate. I never really got it. I understand, like, a lot of people got very mad at him doing things like burning money, stuff like that.
It's his money.
It's his money. And it could be fake. We're so convinced it's real. I wasn't there when he got it from the bank. Like, what are you so mad about? All the stuff he talks, and I'm like,
Have you done a painting for Floyd yet?
I did, and it's crazy. It was my dream to meet him. Wow. I was like, I'm never going to meet this guy. So I did a painting of him, a small one. It was one of my first paintings. I did him and Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was like 12 by 12. So I show up at Barclays Center with the painting because he was doing the press conference for the Gall and...
I was there. The Gall and James the Gall. Was it? No, wasn't Durrell. Was it Durrell?
I believe so.
No.
No, it was
Battle Jack.
Battle Jack.
Yes,
that's who it was.
For that fight. Dang, man.
So I brought the painting with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he was surrounded by 50 security guards. No one's getting near this guy.
Yeah.
So I see his assistant, rest in peace, Kichi, I think her name was.
Yeah.
What a beautiful person. And she knew me from Instagram. So I went up to her and I'm like, she's like, I got you. Don't say anything else, I got you. Wow. So I'm like, all right. I just sat there, and then they did the press conference, and he was getting interviewed on stage, and she's like, "Follow me," and I'm like all nervous. I'm like, one of these bouncers is gonna crack me when they see me go up there. So she just opens up. She's like, "Tony, go up there," and he sees the painting. He like smiles.
Wow.
I took a photo with him. I gave it to him, and he's like, "You want me to sign something for you?" And I had a reprint.
Oh man.
And I was like, "Yeah, please," and he signed it for me.
Man, there we go. There's a great story about Floyd Mayweather.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people just talk a lot of mess about him.
Nah, he was so nice to me.
Yeah.
He took a photo, and I was...
Couldn't ask for more?
That's how I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not painting no more.
I'm done. I made it.
Can't get any better
I
than
made
this.
it. That's it.
And he gave me a bag of money. Yeah, Floyd is so one thing about him, man, he really does share the wealth, man. Like I know so many. I remember when he was talking about his not fighting anymore. He was about to retire. One of the episodes, he wrote a open letter to all the people that he employed. He was like, "Hey guys, soon I'm not gonna be fighting anymore. So the money is gonna stop.
Down.
You got he showed like every Friday he have a line to people he's just paying with cash.
Wow.
He's like, yo, here you go. I'm like, this is so cool. I wanted to get around him just for that.
just to be one of the people sneak on the line.
He came to the gym. You know he came to the gym in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
So Floyd comes to the gym in Brooklyn, and my trainer's like, my trainer's Joel Judy is like, yo, Floyd is coming to the gym.
Wait, who's it?
Zab's father. Zab Judy's father.
He was a great kickboxer.
Absolutely.
Holy cow, I remember when I was a kid. I used to watch him.
The man, yo. So he's like, yo, Floyd's coming to the gym. So I'm like, all right. So we get there like 2:00 in the morning, and we're waiting. For
he went that late?
Yeah. I got there about 12 at night.
Wow.
He gets there at 2. Then he's like, he goes up the window and he's like, that's Floyd. So a couple cars kept circling the block, but we're like deep in the hood, so I don't blame him. Floyd comes in there with like 50 people.
Damn.
Like 2 big, huge bodyguards, some entourage, and some bad chicks, man. Floyd comes in there with some bad chicks, right? And 50 Cent was there too. 50 Cent was with him.
That's when they were tight? Yeah.
So Floyd's training, right? He's training, and I'm gonna learn so much today watching Floyd train. For some reason, Floyd hit the bag, right? He was like, yeah, this is what I had Victor Ortiz with. Right? He's like, shut up, right? And so he's doing that, right? And then he hits the bag for like 2 minutes. And he gets off. I'm done. Roger, let's get on his pads, right? So then I'm like, oh, that's it? So I'm like, I'm taking my little notes, like, so 2 minutes on the bag. All right, cool, right?
It's that easy?
Talk about your prior wins. And then he gets in there, he's like, doing pads. He's like, that's too slow. This motherfucker's gonna hit me with that shot, Roger, right? He's doing some more pads. And he's like, yeah, I done beat everybody. The motherfuckers talking about getting a silverback, getting me to fight a silverback gorilla next. So he said that, but he's on pads like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's having this conversation. He's like, yeah, we're talking about Adrian Broner comes up. He's like, yeah, Adrian Broner, who that guy he fought? So I'm like, yo, I know like a lot about who people fought and stuff. So I'm like, everybody gets quiet. He's like, who that one guy Adrian fought? I'm like, but he hadn't met Adrian Broner at this time. But Adrian Broner used to always call him his big brother. So I'm like, Ponce de Leon, right? And he's like, he looks at me, he goes, he's not.
Who's this guy?
He acknowledged me. He fucking eyes are like, damn, I'm acknowledging you, man. So like, yeah, he looks at me. He doesn't just say words, he just goes, I'm like, yeah, it was Ponce de Leon, Floyd. Yeah, he's like, yeah. So we go to take a photo, and I'm so nervous, man, that Floyd's like, what camera? I'm like looking at him like, what? He's like, what camera, man? I'm like, I went over there. So you take the picture. I think we both looked at different cameras.
Okay, different cameras.
It took so long, but yeah, that's my Floyd story, man.
Wow.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah.
I sound just like him too.
I do something, right?
You practice the impression.
Yeah.
Don't shame it. Don't shame it.
Friends after this.
No shame.
Show, but yeah, Floyd is freaking great, man. Floyd is freaking great. Any new pieces that you were? I want to know, how much do these pieces go for, man? Because I heard you were pretty.
So when I get these are all one of one originals, and when I had exclusive, I was the exclusive artist at Barclays Center.
Yeah,
I was doing all their championship fights.
Nice.
They would sign the painting, the original, and then they would sell it at the end of the night.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So it gets signed. I run to get it authenticated. So I got to wait 4 hours while the guy's writing the papers up. It gets authenticated. I bring it back to Barclays Center, and then they put it up for sale at the end of the night. And they range between $3,000 and like $15,000, depending on who signed it. You know.
All you guys out there, stop asking Tony for the free. Because I know what you guys are doing. You guys out there reselling it and you're abusing your friendship.
Hey, you know he's generous.
Don't hit him up. Don't do that number. It's a $15,000. Well, me and Tony gives me free work, but that's between us. You don't do it.
It's funny because when I first started, I used to tell people I did it out of love, so you don't owe me anything. So that like stuck with me. Wow. You know,
Hey, man.
Heart of gold.
So you think maybe you could do something for, I don't know, man, for love for us? Just because if I could
absolutely.
Tony, if I could sell one painting a month, if you can do one painting for love for us a month. This podcast stuff is hard, Tony. It's not easy, man. You just look out for me. Just do an adjustment. Because one painting, I could pay my mortgage. Just one. But that is totally dope. I will say though, Tony, I got a little disappointed, man. You disappointed me just a little bit. Because he parked. He was like, "Yo, I got a painting, right?" And he took it out. He took the painting out, and at first I saw the wilder part that it was me. I'm not gonna hold you. I said, "Tony, what a painting of me."
Put your face next to it. I can see a little bit of resemblance.
I thought it was me. I was like, he did a Justin Biggs original. Fine, yo.
I'll do something special for you guys.
I'm not.
I put you on the spot. That's messed up. There's like 4 cameras.
I did a nice one for Barack and Hack from.
Them?
Yeah.
Well,
This is back in the day when they were doing This Is 50.
Yeah.
I did one for them.
Yeah, back in the This Is 50 days?
Yeah, that's when I first started.
Man.
So I did.
You could probably do something for it. I could rock it really big. I'm sorry. I could rock it really dope. You know, I thought this was the me and I didn't know who that guy was. I thought it was like a roadcast, like the podcast equipment. I was like, oh, this is dope. But you know what, Tony? I want it to be organic. I want to earn the artwork. I want you to be like, yo,
Yeah, when your dad becomes a fan of one of us or both of us.
Yeah, when your dad
all
says,
three of us.
yo, that Justin Bates kid, that's your friend?
Okay.
Then you go ahead and do it. Don't do it because out of pity. I don't deserve it yet. I'm in the WBC family, but don't go ahead and don't go talk to WBC about me and do artwork with me and the WBC. Don't do that, Tony.
So on the WBC, how'd you get so close with them? How'd you get a good relationship with them?
I did a painting for Maurizio back in the day of his dad.
Man. Of his dad?
Yeah.
His
and
dad
him.
used to run the...
Yeah, Jose Suleiman.
Man, the more you know.
I did a painting for him, and then we just, hit it off from there.
That's amazing.
And,
okay, I'm working on something for Jose too. I need some work on some paint artwork too. See if that helps me out. Because I became world champion. I did a painting for every president of every body, and I became world champion.
It must be so flattering to have your like someone put so much time.
Yeah,
that's the best feeling when I see their reaction.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Well, I do know my mom has drawn me before. What is your mom? It's a little different.
Right.
You kind of get offended if she hasn't drawn you yet. It's like, been alive for 27 years. When's it coming? She just now did one for Edie too. So
nice.
I think she got all three of us. Yeah, all three of us in there.
Paintings or drawings?
It was a drawing. She did a painting of me, but it's a drawing.
Yeah,
Nice.
paintings of. You don't have to, get one who's a favorite. But he got a painting. I got a drawing.
I have a pretty big painting too.
Yeah, you gotta show it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it
Definitely.
to you.
I appreciate art, so I like to look at different styles and
look at each other's art, man. Sure, my mom would really love your stuff, man. What's the next thing you're working on? Anything new? Anything like?
No, I'll be honest. I kind of got burnt out with boxing, with painting, traveling, and so I took a break for a while.
Right.
But, when it comes to art, you got to be like, if you tell me, Tony, paint something, I can't just paint it. I have to be in the mood to do it. I have to have, it's not something like, hey guys, go to my website. Any custom portraits, it doesn't work like that for me. I can't just paint someone because they're paying me.
That's the coolest thing you ever
Yeah.
said, man. You know how much that makes. Now I want to pay him to paint something. The fact is, I just can't paint something. I'm an artist.
Maybe if the price is high enough, he'll be inspired. Who knows? So how do you find your inspiration?
It's not about the money. See,
It's not about the money.
It's just a feel.
It just comes as it wants to.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like my cats. Inspiration is like a cat, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to get so rich that I want to catch you when you're not in the mood to paint something, right?
And say here's money to paint.
Tony, I got $1 million. Let's see what he does.
He's like, nah, man, it's nothing.
He's not crazy.
It's probably happened to him before. With the way he's looking, he's like,
$2 million.
I've been offered $1 million already. You got to come higher.
Yeah.
No, that's inspiration.
That is dope.
You can't force it. It won't come out right, and then you won't be happy with it.
I've heard that a lot with writers. People write music or write movies. Books and things like that. Like they can't control it. When the inspiration comes, it comes, and that's it.
Absolutely.
So you don't have any muse or nothing that like can spur on inspiration. Nothing.
Nah.
Wow.
If I see something, it'll like strike me, and then like, I got to do that.
Okay.
I want to do this.
And it's come in different forms.
All the time. It's always different. Yeah. It's or if I see something like a design, I'm like, I like that. I'll redraw it in my style.
Do you draw people getting like while they're knocked out, or you just like you keep it to? I'm trying to think.
What kind of question?
No. I'm saying if someone
I did a piece.
You're the worst.
And I never finished it.
Yes,
I did a piece of a guy that was knocked out, and I never finished it.
Never, because I'm noticing like the new trend though, right? Like fighters are getting kind of smart. Like if they get stopped or knocked out or lose, they'll post it. And they'll post themselves like.
If they get knocked out, they'll post it.
Yeah, you notice that now? Like they're getting on it. They'll
I've
post
seen that once or twice.
Like I remember
because they're probably like, let me get ahead of the ball before.
Smart. Because I remember when guys just disappear for a little bit.
Right.
And they're like, y'all lost.
I think that was the best way.
Or they just put on. They try to put it on their story, and now they're on their page like yo, life happens.
You know what's messed up though?
Like,
Boxing is very unforgiving because speaking about Regis Prograis, he put up a post and it was him walking out of the arena after he got his medal from his loss and everything.
Very classy though. I like that.
Very classy. It was shot great and everything. And he posted it and he's like, I'll be back. Try to be 3-time world champion. This and the third. And I saw people in the comments like, Man, get your happy-go-lucky ass out of here. We don't care. I was like, what kind of... And why are they under his comments doing that? Like, you must follow him, so you follow him just to wait for him to lose and then trash him? Like,
that's how people are, man. They like you when you're on top, and then they forget you. You know, it's just the way... Yeah.
Some people kick you when you're down.
Look at Tiafimo. When he beat Loma, everybody loved him. Mm-hmm. Dude, then he loses to Kambosos. People like bashing the guy, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
That was a crazy.
Like, what, you liked him, now you don't like him. Now he wins again, and now you like him.
Yeah,
it's like, come on. You know,
that one, like the Kambosos one, I bet some people lost a lot of money though, because they probably couldn't even have seen that happening. Yeah, you know, they couldn't have seen it. Like they forget that it's boxing because he looked so invincible. Yeah. So when Kambosos beats him, they're probably like, so let down. But you gotta understand, man, it's. Anything can happen in your life doing anything. When you're boxing specifically, you know how you're talking about inspiration. You think you don't have to be motivated to fight somebody? You really got to be motivated to fight somebody. So anything can happen, mess that up for you, and now you have a bad night.
Yeah,
you're not inspired, and that's one thing too. As a fighter, you actually, dang, wow, Chris, you're not too bad. You might have saved your job, man. You know, it's right because sometimes you're really not inspired. You know, it's like the money's not inspiring me. This is not inspiring me.
What happens when the money doesn't motivate you anymore?
If you got money, you don't need it.
Right.
You don't need it anymore. Wow.
Yeah.
That's I never thought.
Now just imagine this, right? I do a painting for someone, and I'm sitting there. An average painting will take me, let's say, 3 hours a night for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm giving it to you as a gift. That's time I'll never get back in my life.
Ever.
Oof. Like people don't see that. They're like, "Oh, look at this cool painting. Yeah. Oh, how much you want for it? 2,000? What are you crazy?"
Yeah, you're like, how many hours did I put
how many hours did I put into it that I'll never get back?
Never get back.
So when I say, you know, like when I do something and when I give it to you and I see a reaction, that's how you paid me.
That's the,
you know,
man. It's worth it.
That's how. Yo. When I gave Floyd that painting and he was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Holy shit, this guy liked my painting."
Yeah.
You know, like it was worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna get around Floyd again, but this time, super big painting.
he's got awesome stuff. I mean,
this time we're gonna, we're gonna do? We're gonna make Floyd feel guilty about it. Like we have a big painting, won't be carried like Floyd. Yo, Floyd, like he's not gonna see. This time, I'm gonna explain to him. Yo, Floyd, it took 3 months, man.
Bro, whatever you leave him out of it. If it ever happens, leave him out of it.
You want to hear a funny story? When I tried painting Pacquiao.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, I gotta do a painting for him, and a very close friend of his reached out to me. I became friends with her, and she's like, "Don't do a big painting."
Oh wow.
He's got a stack in his garage. People make paintings for fighters, and after a while, it's like, yeah. So she's like, make a small one, because it'll catch him off guard. Be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And I made a small one, and he signed it. He sent me a photo with it.
What?
And he loved it. Even the guys on his team was like, oh wow, that's cool. You know, it's small. It's nothing crazy.
Jeez. I would never think that.
Yeah, and then when I saw him when he fought Broner, I went to the press conference. And I show him the photo of him holding my painting. And he was like, come here. He's like, give me your phone. And he's like taking selfies with my phone. I have like 20 selfies with him. So he was appreciative. Which was pretty cool, yeah.
That's the president of the Philippines.
Yeah. Yes.
I was trying
right? Acting like that. Reacting that way.
He like grabbed me. He's like, come here, selfie.
What? Wow. Pacquiao seems really nice.
He does.
I was trying to, my heart was in the wrong place. I was trying to do a money grab from Floyd. I was trying to get us a money.
He's like, no, there's no that currency of the what is it? Appreciation.
Right.
Yeah.
That goes as far as money can go. Further than money, really.
Yeah. So and I'm very thankful for my friend Sasha that did that for me with Pacquiao.
Sasha,
thank you so much. Yes, that was.
Shout out to Sasha, man.
Did you see the thing? I saw a video of Floyd. He bought like a $1 million Cuban link chain. Did you see that?
No, I saw the watch he bought.
18 million. Yeah. That's the thing about also fighters. When you do spend money, people do start to count your money. I love that you came on here and you were like, yo, he signed it. And you were, man, you're genuinely happy about that, right?
Genuinely, yeah.
But a lot of people will see that and go, yo, man, like, he could have gave me, you know, like, they'll start to think about how someone owes them something. And,
Right.
But when you love what you do, like, I was fighting, right? I'll fight, and I'll be about to leave the venue, and then they'll go, hey, man, it's your check. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm more interested in what people thought about the fight. Like, did you guys have a good time? Because I look at it like, yo, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're on a Saturday night.
Right.
Friday night, you're watching me fight, and you paid money to come see this thing.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure you had a good time.
Absolutely.
And I think about the money later, you know, when the bill collectors are calling me. But during the time, I'm not thinking about the money, man.
Yeah.
Your heart's in the right place. That's all it is. Your heart's in the right place. A lot of times, you know, amateur fighters either, you got to give them their credit. And the trainers. I might, I give both credit.
I feel bad for the trainers, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because they're risking a lot too.
They are.
Training you. It's
putting that all that time into someone else.
Man.
That, you know, is probably a lot of times they start as kids. You don't even know who they're going to be in a few years.
And you're hoping that one of them becomes the next world champ, so you get a payday out of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully their hearts are in the right place.
Right.
Hopefully they're just doing it. But they're usually not. Usually, be honest, they're hoping that they get the next guy so that they could, you know, get more fighters and more trainers. And I mean, not more trainers, but more fighters, a bigger team, create a more efficient system to farm these kids and make that it guy again.
Shout out to Sosa for having his first world champion, man.
Shout out to Sosa.
He's in Dubai right now, right?
He's in Dubai with
Baby Miller.
Baby.
Yeah.
But he has his first world champion the other day, and it's that young lady that just fought Ebony Bridges.
Z something with her. She's I'll find her.
Yeah, you saw it was on the Zone. It was
Yeah.
And I was just,
I know the name. I'm trying to.
Woo, I feel like I don't want to be wrong, but I think
it was such a cool story. I'm in Breadwinner Gym in the city. I'm training, and there's a girl in the gym, and she's rolling out for about like maybe 2 hours, right? Her daughter is there, just on like a Nintendo, just waiting with her mother. Yeah, and I remember there, I'm hitting the bag, and I'm training the whole time, and I see her there, and she's just like, oh, yo, she's fighting for a world title. But how humble she was, man, and I saw the little daughter just waiting there with her mom, and then I found that she's a single mother, and she won the biggest fight of her life, man. Then I saw my man Sosa in the corner, and I remember Sosa training so many fighters, dude. I'm just like, wow. Sosa.
Yeah, no, he's been training, and we sponsor a lot of his fighters.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
You know?
Mio Yoshida. That's her name. Young woman's name that.
Oh, so she beat Ebony Bridges.
Yes, she beat her. Yeah, she beat her pretty convincingly. Pretty convincingly. I also wonder what was going on with Ebony Bridges at the time, because she also kind of didn't look her best. I've seen her, but she's had a lot of hard fights. Are you a fan of female fighting at all, or?
To be honest with you, I like it better than men's boxing.
Oh, that's my guy right there. Yeah, because you're talking about the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight. I was
they really throw down.
That might have been fight of the year.
I think that Katie Taylor Serrano fight was amazing.
It was.
Even when what's her name fought, the English girl. She's calling out Clarissa Shields now. What's her name?
Not Baumgartner.
She's good. I seen her fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yes,
she's really good too.
Yes, she is, and she has the punching power to kind of get a new audience into female fighting. Yeah. That's the one thing you don't see in female fighting that you see in male fighting, which is those knockouts. Right. Which is why I'm such a big fan of Shadeja Green too, because she's a great
tough
fighter,
man.
but she has the punching power, she has the speed, the skill. Like she's a different level. I think she's one of the best female fighters I've seen.
I think she is,
Mm-hmm. And shout out to French
Cruz. And they're both the nicest.
Yeah, French.
Like she's such a sweetheart. We've done sponsorships with her. Yeah. She is so cool.
She is so
cool.
And
Shadeja's awesome. Like I was watching them both fight. I'm like, we sponsor Shadeja. We know French on. I'm like, I don't want to watch this fight.
I don't want to see that fight either, man. What'd you think about it? Like your takeaway from that fight?
I was upset at the fight because I didn't like. I've seen. How do you say her name? Franchon.
Franchon.
Mm-hmm. I've seen her fight, and she has a good style. Like she'll jab, move around. she was mostly smothering Shadeja.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, Shadeja can't even get off.
Nah,
You know,
can't.
plus she was a little too stationary in the middle of the ring. So I didn't really like the fight, I'll be honest with you. That wasn't...
It was from a technical standpoint, it's hard because sometimes you have to fight in certain ways to win.
Right.
But it's not appealing to the fans. But
And
it's
that's... Yeah.
your best bet to win. It's hard to find that middle ground to say, okay, look, I could do this and beat this guy or her or this girl, but it will be horrible for the fans. So I have to find the middle ground to where I can perform in a way that I'll win
And keep the fans happy.
and get and not get hurt.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the most important thing, not getting hurt.
And that's the most important thing. But Tony, man, we're not gonna keep you too long. We've had you here for a while. He has a lot of cool paintings to do. But I want people to know, where can they follow you, man?
So I'm on Instagram. Tony Nasa is the name on there. I also have a website, tonynasa.com.
Okay.
I'm on all social media platforms. I just set up an Etsy shop too, Tony Nasa Designs.
Yeah.
We're selling
Nice,
some
nice.
artwork on there. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Man,
I love you guys. Thank you so much for this.
My brother, I love you too. Oh man, he's the first person to say he loves us.
Oh, man.
Yo, my man, Tony, man. Well, this is another episode of Bigs vs. Bigs. We're out. Everyone, drive safe. I don't know why I always say that because I just feel like
We
people
assume
listen
that
to
you're
us.
There's actually vodka in here, guys.
Hey, yo, buy some RX water, man. What can they order the RX water? How do we get some of this water?
It's all over. I mean,
It is all over. Just go to the store.
That's the best
Just go to the
answer.
store.
Yeah.
Look forward to your fun.
Don't call me for it. Though.
Don't call them. All right, y'all. We out.